Yes, that's right. I've been sticking my nose in other people's business again.
Oh, what's occurring?
Do you remember when you were in school, your aunties or your grandparents turned around and said to you, remember now that the best time of your life is when you're in school? Do you take any notice? I didn't until I got a little bit older. But then it's too late, isn't it? It's too blimmin' late. This story is really inspiring and I seem to hear it all the time since we've been in the motorhome and two word basically. About van lifers and people enjoying the motor. I really hope you enjoy it.
I'm Rick, my name is Rick Timmis and my wife's called Alison. We've had motorhomes for about 12 years or so now. We got our first motorhome, so I was ill. I got really ill about 12 years ago or so, and I had to have a lot of treatment, a lot of surgery and stuff like this. And you know, you get that feeling, don't you, like life's too short. Our children were little at that time, and so I ended up thinking, really need to get out and explore, and what would be a good way to do that. So we decided to get a motorhome. So we got our first one. It was quite cheap, didn't pay too much money for it, and we went off wandering around. We had a ball. It was great. And then when Alison was 40, she decided that she wanted to get a better motorhome, to improve one. So we've got the one that we've got now. We've had that for about 10 years. So that's how we started, and it's been really good fun. We've really enjoyed it.
So where does the magazine come in? What's that?
Oh, okay, right. So that began life because once we got the motorhome and we went out on the road, people started waving at us. To start with, we thought, like, oh, it's a speed camera or something like that, you know, or there must be something like, you know, be careful.
The big wave. We've got a big hand we have in our motorhome that David insists that I use, especially when we're on the motorway, because he reckons that the traffic on the other side of the motorway will be able to see us. But I don't think so.
And eventually, it took us a little while. Once we'd seen quite a few motorhomes and every one of them waved at us, we realised that, oh, these people are waving at us. Well, the kids got really excited about that, my two daughters. So anyway, whilst we were away, I think we were down at Harford Bridge Park or something, down near Tavistock. We weren't very far away. The girls started talking about, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a club, you know, and this kind of stuff, and or all be friends together and stuff like that. So I played along with that. Well, let's role play that then. Let's talk about it around the table. What would it look like? And so they ended up talking about like a sort of social kind of group idea. Well, I'm a software developer and I like to have a reason to play with computers. And one of the hardest things about doing software development is having something to build. You want something to build. So I ended up building a site not dissimilar to kind of probably the way Facebook is right now. I built this site, but I thought rather than it being Facebook, I'll just build it specifically for motorhome people so that people could do that. So that's where the journey began, and it started doing that. And then the next phase was really, after we joined the Caravan Club, and we used to get this magazine that would come through, and it was just, it had so many adverts in it. I remember opening one up once and picking it up, and all of this material fell out all over the floor. And I thought, what's all this stuff? That ended up putting it in the recycle bin. It wasn't of interest to me. That's not to say that it isn't to interest to some people. Because of the type of person that I am, I'm really interested in like articles, and I'm interested in adventure and exploring and things like that. And I thought to myself, one day I looked at some of these magazines, not specifically just that one, but some of these magazines that were travel orientated, and I just thought to myself, there is so much adverts in here and so minimal content, and the content that even is in there is kind of like sort of commercially geared. And I thought, I don't want to, that's not what interests me. What I'm interested in is like getting excited about a castle or an old hill fort on a hillside somewhere, and then, well, where did that start? What was the anthropology behind it? Who were those people? That kind of stuff really got interesting. And so I thought, well, I wonder whether I could write a magazine like that. So I did, just because you go and explore, you take a few photographs, of course, castle or whatever it might be, and I started writing some articles about it. And then I thought, well, I've written it now, why not share it? So because I'd got this little club site going with a few people on it, I just shared it, gave it away I give it away for free. So that was how the magazine came about, and then the club. And then I realised that actually I was kind of solving a problem that was already solved with Facebook. So then I started to think, well, we very much liked just being able to roam around, right? The adventurous exploring, move from place to place. So what we did was we started staying at pubs and places like that and farm shops and things like that. And I thought, do you know what? Why don't I build the software to do that, and then I can reach out to a whole bunch of these places and I'll get a whole bunch of locations all over the UK where I can go and stay, right? So that's what I did. So because I'm a software engineer and I'm like principal lead engineer for a big integration company, so for me this is just like practice exercise. So I built this site up on AWS, and then I put all the like mailing list up so people could go and get the magazine if they wanted to and stuff like that. And it keeps me enthusiastic when it's winter and I can't go out in the van and it's raining and it's dark. I can play around with it on my computer.
That's very similar how we started YouTube in the first place, because the winter was coming and I thought it'll give him something to do, although it just can take over your life sometimes. Yeah, it does a little bit. And then obviously meeting James, what happened then was that, I mean, he's such a lovely guy, and he has a really good understanding of positive community and how to develop and manage positive community, and I found that quite inspiring. So last year when we came here, I thought I'm going to write an article for the magazine, and then James got super excited about that, and it was really good and this, that and the other. And so I thought, well, do you know what, why don't I print some copies? So the first printed versions of the magazine were done just a few weeks ago. There's only a couple of hundred of them, but I brought them here because I knew I was coming to bring them to for James, and during the time that I've built that up, we've got a number of people that write for the magazine now, like Devi and Martin and Sarah, who and an artist who, people like me again, who they just want to do it because, like Martin, for example, he's all his family are from Wales. He's avidly interested in like ancient Welsh history going back to the Celtic tribes of Wales, and so for him, he just wanted to write an article about a book he's writing. So that's in the magazine, tells you all about the history of the Celtic Druids on Anglesey and how they were routed out by the Romans, etc. So the printed magazine, and then I brought it here, and I wanted to just surprise James, and he was over the moon. I gave him this big stack of magazines. Here you go, mate. And it's got Reggie, his dog, Reggie on the front, and then big pictures of James and his mam inside and stuff like that. And then obviously we've given them out to a few people. To be fair, I've been really pleased with the feedback. People have said, that they think it's it's a good job, and it's been well done. Good quality as well. Yeah, and good quality. So that's where it is today. That's lovely. Thank you ever so much. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the stay here. Thank you. And we'll see you again soon. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. We really hope that you enjoyed that story. It certainly had a great impact on David and myself, and has made us think about our future and what we're going to do if we're lucky enough to be here in the next 20 years. If you've got any interesting stories, please drop them down in the comment. We will do our best to answer you as soon as we can. And of course, if you've liked this video, please give us the thumbs up. Subscribe, it is free, and press that notification bell so that you'll be informed of any other videos that we do. There is another main one for Twin Oaks, for James Riley's meet in Easter. I know it's a bit late, sorry guys. Press that notification bell, you will be reminded when the video is out. So press on ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling that bell, and we'll see you on the next one.
Oh, what's occurring?